Hi there, welcome to We Jack 'em All.
It's the Jacks of all.
The what?
The Jacks of all. The show where we show the people how to do anything they want.
Well, I didn't agree to that.
Anyways, today we'll be showing you how to make a charcuterie board. And you can be as simple or as complex as you'd like when you do this.
What's great about this spread here, I got everything from Aldi for about $70.
All right, let's get jacking.
We're gonna get started with the star of the show, the cheese. Everybody loves cheese. And also, it's not a necessity, but it helps to have the proper knives to go with the cheese. You have the knife for spreading, the knife for cutting the cheese, the softer cheese, it helps separate. Just a regular old knife for your sharper cheeses. And then the poker for olives and like that. I'm gonna get started cutting. I'm gonna go for the softer cheeses with this bad boy right here, the Havarti, soft, kind of plain, not really the star of the show.
Okay, so as we slice this Havarti, we're gonna move it over to the cutting board that we're gonna display on and move on to the next cheese. In this case, it's a Irish cheddar, and we believe it's better in cubes, so we'll cube that up and do the same. Moving on to the Menage, this cheese is going to look great in triangles. We're going to remove the wax around the rind and get to slicing. Once again, put it on your board. After that, we come over to a harder New York 4-year aged cheddar, and these are hard to keep in a uniform shape, so we're just going to lop it off the block in cracker-sized chunks. Here we see the star of the show, our double Gloucester. This is going to go well in cubes as well. It's a stronger tasting cheese, so we don't want it too large. And then we want to start organizing.
For starters, we're gonna put the double Gloucester, which is this yellow cheese, in the center because it is by far the best cheese on this board.
And now that we've got the main attraction in the center of our board, we can start working around. You can stagger these slices. Once we get to the triangles, we like to do a little offset pattern with them. It's aesthetically pleasing and you can use it to hold other things later on. Don't be too concerned about empty spaces on the board right now. We're going to come back to that later and fill them with our other things, nuts, meats, things to complement the cheese. As you can see, we've got ourselves an assortment of spreads here, as well as some sweet, crunchy cornichons, some olives if you're into that kind of thing, not for me, as well as some chocolate-covered cranberries and dried figs. Don't forget to have a number of options of cured meats as well.
We're just gonna sort these to fill in some of the gaps. Again, this is the second most important thing, so we'll work around the cheese.
So we've got our Speck Italiano. That is similar to prosciutto, except in the end it gets smoked, so it's got smoky flavor and smell to it. Of course, your regular prosciutto, the gold standard when it comes to leveling up charcuterie, and an assortment of salami. We'll talk about those as we put them on the board. First, we have our standard hard salami, and what we like to do is kind of fold that in half, and then in half again. It's not going to want to stay, so you're going to have to do this with a bunch of pieces. Once we've got enough of them done, we can set it on the board. Don't forget to snack while you're doing this. If there's something that you don't think is aesthetically pleasing, maybe a salami has a hole in it, go ahead and eat it. Not a waste at that point. Once you've got them balled up, put it on the board and repeat the process. When you get to the herb-crusted and peppered salami, be careful, as this is only on the outside of the meat and can fall off. For the prosciutto and the Speck Italiano, we're just going to ball up these individual slices, as you can see here, and place them on the board. You're going to do this until you run out of meat, and this is really going to help fill up that space. So you can be as tight or as loose with these as you want. Depends on what else you're going to be putting on there. Here we've got our wee brie. The reason we didn't bring these out initially is because we wanted to keep them cold, and you can pre-cut these, that way your guests don't feel like they can't touch them. And the same goes for the goat cheese. We can throw that out of the fridge directly onto the board and just knock a slice off so it's more inviting to the guests. Maybe they don't want to touch it if it hasn't been tampered with already. Finally, we'll start on our other products here. So we're going to put our cornichons and a ramekin. We're just going to toss that in the corner for now. You can change this as you go if you don't like the way something looks. We'll do the same with our olives, chuck those in a ramekin and place them on the corner of the board. And now we can start filling in the rest of those empty spaces with our pepper spread as well as whole grain mustard, chocolate, nuts, and grapes. Don't forget to stop and take a break and enjoy some wine while you're going through all this, then get right back to it. We'll finish out with the cranberries and some pistachios. Here's what it looks like when it's fully assembled. Well, there you have it. That's how you put together a head-turning charcuterie board. Not necessarily on a budget, but you're not breaking the bank either. This is gonna be great for probably 10 to 15 people, no problem. There's plenty to go around here.
Easily. The two of us have to finish this tonight. Cheers.
Cheers. Thanks for watching the Jacks of all.
Jacking them all.
I feel like we've eaten a lot.
It feels like. It sounds like it.